Hey y'all, it's me, Rebecca, from Learn Flute Online with episode 13 today.
Learning to play the flute will put you in a good mood for the rest of the day because the flute is the most cool, the most fun, the most beautiful of all instruments in the whole world. We're here to tell you you can do it, and Rebecca will show you how, step by step all along the way. She's a curly-headed blonde with a talent for teaching. Introducing the Learn Flute Podcast. Take it away, Rebecca.
Well, welcome everyone, and thanks for tuning in here to the Learn Flute Podcast. Again, my name is Rebecca Fuller, and I'm the expert of all things flute, and especially learning how to play the flute at learnfluteonline.com, which is the companion site to this podcast. Now, you can hop on over there to read these show notes and join in on the conversation in the comment section. We have a large community there of flute learners, and we'd love you to join us. Today in this episode, I'm going to be answering a question many beginners have, and especially if you are self-taught or are relearning how to play the flute, you're going to enjoy the information I'll be sharing with you today. Now the question is, how should I line up my flute? Lining up your flute isn't really as common sense as we'd like it to be, so it's no problem for me to shed some light on it here today. It's important to know that it doesn't really matter which pieces of the flute you decide to put together first. It's just important that you do each one correctly. And this will maximize your efforts when you're practicing and keep your flute problem-free. So let's get started, first of all, here with the head joint. Head joints are just a cylinder with one end capped and the other end open. We have a lip plate and a hole where you do all the blowing. I call the tone hole or the embouchure hole. To answer the question in this episode of how to line up a flute correctly, you'll need to know where to position the head joint as you slide it into the barrel of the body of the flute. And by the way, in case you didn't know, the body is the longest part with all the buttons and the keys on it. So as you twist the head joint into place, now you'll notice I said twist here, and that's really another whole other subject, but just know that it's very important not to shove your head joint into the body. You must twist in order to keep those joints from stretching out of shape. Well, anyway, what we need to look at here is the tone hole or the embouchure hole that's up there on the lip plate. What we want to do is line up that little hole with the majority of the straight keys on the body of the flute. Now, I always kind of hold my flute in front of me, pointing down at my feet, and then I peer down it as if it were the barrel of a gun, and that's how I can see if the lip plate is lined up well or not. It doesn't take very long. It's very quick, and it's just as I'm twisting the head joint right into the body. Now, do you need to do this every single time you put your flute together? Well, yes, you do. Unless you have marked your flute and can just line up the markings. Now, I actually have an article I wrote about that if you'd like to read more. But just know that I do not suggest you scratch your flute in order to mark where it should be lined up. Now, the reason for this is that as you advance and learn and your body grows, you'll have a slightly different place you'll want to line it up. Now, this particular subject is a little more complicated, so I've decided to keep this episode more simple and just say that you should line up your embouchure hole with the majority of the straight keys on your flute. Now, if you look down your flute, as I've suggested here, you'll know exactly what I mean. Now, another reason I should mention here why we want to line that hole up straight with the keys is because pulling or twisting that head joint so that the hole is pointing more towards your face or more away from your face could cause a lot of issues with your tone and especially a lot of tension in your face. And tension is totally not something you want for good tone on flute. So be careful of that and learn by lining the hole nice and straight. Now let's move on to the foot joint. It's pretty important to get the placement of the foot joint right, since it can save you from a world of hurt in your hand and wrist. Now if you take your foot joint and you go to twist it, now notice I said twist again, into place on the end of the body, you'll naturally want to stop it so that the round keys are all lined up with the round keys of the body. Now this is where today we're going to have a little chat, because this is not going to be what you want to do. You'll actually need to stop and think for just a second about something here. If you hold your right hand up in front of you and check out the size of all of your fingers, you'll notice that your digits really aren't the same size, are they? But the keys of the flute are all lined up there, straight in a row on the top, as if your fingers were all the same size. Now this causes a problem for a few of your fingers, especially your pinky. That little finger down there on the right, since we're looking at our right hand, it's super short compared to the rest of your fingers, so we're going to be treating it differently as well. Getting the right position of the foot joint gives you a chance to get your hand aligned correctly while you're playing, and we really do want to find the most natural position possible to discourage any overuse injuries like carpal tunnel syndrome or tennis elbow type injuries. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to place our right hand first, second and third fingers on the correct keys of the body of the flute, and then we'll wiggle our pinky finger up and down, and notice that the foot joint will need to be set on an angle so that the pinky key reaches our pinky finger naturally. Now, if you'd like a visual demonstration of this, you may have already seen me show you all about this in the learning modules over at Learn Flute Online in number 3 module number 3, where I have a video of me talking and showing all about it. It's actually, I think, video number 6 in that module. Now, I also get this question often enough that I uploaded that exact same video to my YouTube channel. And if you're not already a subscriber there, I encourage you to get over there and click subscribe on the Learn Flute Online YouTube channel, since each time I upload a new video, you'll be getting an email notification. Well, that about does it for today. I'm excited you're here and really love the fact that you are interested in learning more about playing the flute. Now, as usual, I welcome you to come over to the learnfluteonline.com website to check out some show notes from this episode. You can find them by typing in learnfluteonline.com/ and then the number 013. That's for episode 13. Now, I already have a few awesome flute learning subjects all lined up for the next podcasts, and I'd like to remind you that all of your questions are more than welcome here. You can record your voice asking your question over at learnfluteonline.com/ feedback, where I have a fancy little system all set up for you to just click a button and talk right at your computer. It will email me your vocalized question, and you might even hear it answered right here on air someday. Pretty cool, huh? Well, I will see you all later.
Thanks for listening today. Remember that this is where people of all ages, such as you, can come, learn, and play the musical instrument flute in an easy-to-follow, organized manner, and in the privacy and comfort of your own home, on your own schedule.